Freedom of the City was a project by the Glucksman Gallery that invited over 2,000 children to contribute to the Cork City Development Plan. In partnerships with the UCC and Cork City Council, the Glucksmen have put together a city-wide creative programme that helped us to express our ideas for healthier, greener and more playful cities. This film tells the story of how that happened.
Freedom of the City has created an opportunity for young people to get involved with Cork City Council and to picture and express how they would like to see their city develop into the future. As a society, it is crucial that we include and listen to the voice of our young people. Their ideas and proposals about Cork's development invite us to consider current planning practices and imagine a positive future for our city. I have been struck by the wonderful vision that they have for Cork that promotes a living environment built on inclusivity and well-being. We have seen a clear message from the young people of Cork that they want a city that places nature to the fore. This strong emphasis on developing our city to be a shared space with wildlife is presented to us in a variety of fun ways. The consistent message is that a city that prioritises nature and prioritises the health and well-being of its citizens. I'm excited to see how this Cork City Development Plan reflects the innovative ideas of our young citizens.
For the most part, we worked collectively. We had like a sheet in the middle of the table and we talked about what we like about Cork and what we don't like about Cork, and what we'd like to change or keep the same.
In my picture, I added a ton more trees because even though in Cork, in most places there's a ton of trees and there's loads of forests, but I feel like towards the centre of the city there could be a lot more greenery and grass.
If I was Lord Mayor of Cork, I would make the streets more colourful and then play music in the streets to make a bit more, a nicer atmosphere.
As a university art museum, we have a very special role to play in connecting the vibrant research that happens here on campus and ensuring that it has a real impact in the city where we live. During spring 2021, primary, second level and third level students had an opportunity to explore, using digital activities online, the creative ideas that they want for their city.
I'd really love to have more spaces for informal learning for young people, like open spaces that you can freely go into and learn new skills and things like that.
We learn lots of things in school and that's great, but also if we went on more outings and everything to museums and other learning spaces, it might be more of a fun experience and we might want to learn more.
The sort of work we do with young people, I suppose, often revolves around empowering them to have their own voice and have their own say. We work a lot with kids that might be from marginalised communities or minority groups. So the themes of belonging and inclusion come up quite frequently. And then using creativity to help them to express themselves.
So for the Freedom of the City project, we used digital media. The internet is a place where young people feel comfortable. It allows us to reach bigger audiences. Young people can engage from the comfort of their own space.
So the idea with Healthy Cities is that we work in collaboration. We never do anything on our own. Really, the process of how we work together and that collaboration and that growing, I suppose, of expertise across different organisations is really essential for health promotion. Collaboration brings a greater knowledge and understanding of health, and it leads to really positive outcomes. This is a fantastic example of such a collaboration where the expertise is here in the Glucksman in terms of engaging with children. The planning expertise is in the local authority, and then the playful element came through from the playful paradigm. So bringing all of these expertises together has lent itself to this wonderful partnership and fantastic outcomes that we can see here from children, with the schools engaging also, and parents and people at home engaging. So really, in a nutshell, this project, you know, personifies what a Healthy Cities approach is, or a playful approach is to city development planning. And it's been a wonderful experience for us to observe this in practice.
If I was the Mayor of Cork City, I would put more electric car spots for electric cars for the climate.
I want more greener spaces, parks in your cities, cleaner rivers, and more rooftop gardening to utilize space.
It'd be nice if there's like cycle lanes so you could cycle to training like safely, so you don't have to drive or anything.
It'll also be better for us if we stop using cars, as well as being better for the environment. We can, you know, do more exercise and it'll be more healthy for us.
Urban planning really is about making places for people, and in that there's so many things underpinning it. There's sustainable development, there's, you know, inclusiveness, making sure everybody is part of their city, and also having a say. You know, participating in the future of your city is so important. But really, mostly we're thinking about making livable places, places that are pleasant to live in, to walk around, to cycle around, nice places to go to work. You know, really a good city is a place that people want to be and not that they have to be.
I feel like aside from the art, I think that the city would really need to implement is like more laws on litter, or more like community-run events about like, you know, cleaning the city and cleaning the beaches, because it's like really impactful on not only our health but also the planet's health.
If we kind of just ignore it, sure, it won't be a nice place to live at all. But if we actually make impact on what's happening, we have to think, oh yeah, there's pollution everywhere, we need to really fix this. If we actually had a good mindset towards all of this, it would be such a nice city in a couple of years.
The drawings are just incredibly compassionate, and you know, when you step away and it really gives you perspective to get into the mind of a child, because you know, sometimes you forget what it's like to be 8, 9 and 10, and to be able to look into their minds and look at the creativity is something that really gives you hope, and that we should be listening to our young people and making the right decisions today in order to have a better future tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm really struck by the amount of colour in the images, and how actually they've referenced colour, that they really want colourful buildings, and that just shows that kids are, you know, they're perceiving their environment and they want fun, and they want variety, and they want something interesting and something exciting.
If I was Lord Mayor of Cork, I'd make the river cleaner, we'd have better advantage of it, so we'd be able to play in it more, and there'd be lots of trees and bushes and green areas. I'd also make it a better place to learn and play, and add learning stations around Cork where you could learn a bit about the history of Cork, or you could just learn some fun facts or stuff like that.
If there's less travelling and there's less cars on the road, it would be a safer space, there would be less pollution, and it would also be a lot quieter.
If I was Lord Mayor of Cork, I would put more areas of greenery and places for people to relax.
If I was Lord Mayor for today, I'd like to make the city more inclusive for people with physical disabilities.
I'd have little like parks where you can just kind of sit back and relax instead of all the loudness, and it'd have like fairy lights and music, like nice soft music constantly playing.
Well, the voice of young people is vital in terms of catering for their needs and what they'd like to see happening with the city. So they're the future, and you know, their voice is really important, and it's also sort of written into the legislation that we hear from children and their voices in what they would like to see happening with the city. Also, I suppose, from looking at some of the pictures that they've drawn up, they really do have a great contribution to make, and they're very aware of the main issues affecting their city, such as the environment, parks and public spaces. Essentially, the development plan will be the indicator or the guide for growth for Cork City over the next 6 years, but it takes a longer time framework right up to 2040
Like they're not going to be children, 5-year-old children or 10-year-old children who are going to read 700 pages and give us an informed written submission. It's never going to happen. But I think this allows us to quite clearly see what young people want. And if we step back as adults and look at what they're asking for, it'd be pretty cool that in 19 years' time, when they're all adults, that they've influenced Cork City to be better for young people.